What's up, guys? ThatOneTomahawk here. Welcome back to more Minecraft. So I'm going to play Warren, and today, man, I've been debating on this topic for quite a long time. You know, I've touched on other bits of videos, but I haven't felt comfortable talking about it directly, and I'm going to try my best to articulate myself in a way where I don't find myself looking back at this video and saying, yeah, I'm going to delete that and totally not going to upload it. I was unable to express my thoughts correctly and everything. You know, I've had those controversial videos in the past, but this is something is more near and dear to me. You know, I've touched on it before, and I've included tidbits and stuff, and I kind of feel like this is the video where I'm finally going to get, I wouldn't say necessarily get it off my chest, but just share the life story, or at least, the parts of it that I would like to, share is of my father. You can hear me, like, choking up over my own words right now. Seriously, this is, like, the most uncomfortable I've ever felt doing a video. Well, I wouldn't say uncomfortable, it's just, kind of, I'm trying to figure out what I want to say at the exact same time. Obviously, I do these videos on a whim, and if I don't do it right, sometimes I won't upload it, but this is something that I need to get right, and, or else, I don't want to put it up. And, so, basically, if you guys don't know, my father, I call him Papi, right? So I'm gonna call him Papi for the rest of the video. He was, his job, his profession was, he was a professional boxer. He fought in the light heavyweight division. I believe he was like #1 in the rankings at some point. Yeah, he definitely was. And he was basically awesome. I remember, I forget his final score. It's on Wikipedia. You could look it up. Just look up Julio Gonzalez boxing. He's got a Wikipedia page. And I think he only had 8 losses, and then he was known for having no knockouts, right? Oh, the server's lagging. He was known for having no knockouts, and he had this one TKO, but he wanted to keep on going. But if you don't know what a TKO is, it's a technical knockout. So the decision is made by not necessarily the fighter himself, but he's too hurt to keep on fighting because he got cut or something, right? But that's not necessarily the most thing I want to cover on. It's basically back in I guess I'm gonna explain this whole day as a whole, right? So I wake up, the date is March 10th, 2012. Right now, as I'm recording this, it's obviously January 1st, or just January 20th, 2014. So it was 2 years ago. There's actually, it's kind of weird saying 2 years ago. I'm still not used to the fact that it's 2014. Anyways, 2 years ago, I wake up, it's a day like any other. At this point, my dad, or Papi, he's quit being a professional boxer because he's I wouldn't say he's getting old, but he was unable to fight anymore. He lost his like youthful pride. Well, not necessarily pride, but he wasn't with boxers, they have a very limited fighting period in which you're good for a couple years, and then you just kind of can't do it anymore because your body can't handle it. That my dad was at that point, and he was done. So what ended up doing is, in order to support our family, he had basically his parents live in Mexico. Yeah, my dad's from Mexico, right? Because I'm Mexican, I speak Spanish. Thus the reason why my name's Julio, right? Because I'm named after my dad. Point is, his parents live in this. They live in Baja California Sur, which is just in Mexico, and they live there for their entire lives. And they moved to California in search of a better life, at least for their kids. I'm coughing a little bit. My voice is gotten a little by. Anyways, so what he ended up doing is, in order to support the family, he rented, I think it was 10 acres of land, and he tilled the land all himself with he hired some workers to help him do it. And what he did was he was growing alfalfa. If you guys don't know what that is, it's pretty much hay. They sell it over there by the the hay bale. They have this thing that packs the hay into these kind of rectangular-ish things, and then they sell those. And they sell for 120 pesos each, which is give or take $10. And that's how he would support the family, at least to the best as he could. And that's what he would do. So since we live in California, he would be gone for long periods of time, right? And he'd be over there in Mexico doing his thing, and he'd come back. I'd say I'd see him maybe I'd see him for 1 month, and then he'd be gone for 2 months. That's just because, you know, he has to do the whole sort of thing, and he has to run that thing over there. It's very understandable and stuff, right? And geez, I'm gonna die. Leave me alone. Oh, there we go. I was able to eat that. Anyways, so I wouldn't see him too often, and you know, as families go, every family has their issues and stuff. So I wasn't necessarily the because my grandma led me to believe that you know, once again I say all families have sort of social disputes that they have, and my parents, they would fight on a daily basis. Like every night I would be going to sleep and I'd hear them yelling at each other, and this is I'm gonna say this right now. Please don't give me pity. Please don't give me pity about this story. This is just something I want to share. It's not something that I want you to pity me over. I'm well enough. You know, pity actually makes people feel worse. At least it makes me feel worse. So don't give me pity, okay? Please don't. But anyways, so when he's gone, I feel like those were the times when, you know, things were okay, because there'd be no issues, except for maybe my brother, who's a little troubled. But for the most part, there were no issues while he was gone, and I felt that was a good thing. And anyways, so it is March 10th, 2012, and it's a day like any other, and I go to do my thing, because, you know, I don't usually do much. I just stay inside, play video games. So I would be playing my video games, and then I had, what do you call it? I went over to my neighbor's house because he has a jacuzzi, and we went over there just to, you know, chill for a little while. We were having fun. He's a year younger than me. Anyway, so I went there with my brother, and then I come home through the backyard, because like I hop over the wall instead of, like, because, you know, when you get out of a jacuzzi you're really cold, and I hopped over the wall, came back through over the wall, came in through the back, and I hear my mom talking to my what do you call it? My neighbor, like my neighbor and his friend, his mom, and she was like, my mom seemed a little distressed, like, you know, she seems like she had tears in her eyes, and oh great, the server's lagging. Okay, anyways, so she had like tears in her eyes, whatnot, and basically, oh, he's gonna die. There we go, got him. So she had, like, you know, she was distressed for whatever reason. So, and then I heard her say, she's like, you know, my Karen, which is, you know, the name of my grandma, she's because she was at the time, I think she was over at my cousin's house, because, you know, my cousins live with my great grandma, and my grandma goes over there to visit sometimes. It's sorry, this is a little confusing. Try not for it to be confusing at all. What are those people doing outside? Anyways, it's just like, I don't want her to come back and drive really quickly and, you know, hurt herself. And I was just like, the only thing that I heard was, you know, hurt herself, and I was just like, what's wrong with grandma? Because, you know, in the past, my grandma's not necessarily the most healthy person in the world. Well, you know, actually, no, she's fine. She's fine. It's just, if she was something was wrong with her, I wouldn't be the most surprised thing. So I was just like, what happened with grandma? And I said that to my mom. And at this point, the neighbor's mom, or my friend's mom, whatever, she was like, at that point she says, okay, I think it's time for me to go, or whatever, and we said goodbye and whatever. And I remember these moments just vivid in my memory. And so what my mom does is she starts tearing up, and she tells me, I'm sorry if I'm gonna get a little sad here, but she tells me, I have no other way to say this to you, Junior, but because my mom calls me Junior because, you know, I'm named after my dad, but Papi died. And she said that, and she just starts bawling her eyes out, and I didn't know how to react, really. I mean, at that point, you know, it feels like the whole world is crashing down on you. There's nothing you could, like, necessarily do to, you know, there's no proper way when you know, a family member dies, whether it be, you know, your father, your mother, brother, aunt, it doesn't matter. There's no proper way to feel about it, and instantaneously, I was in shock. And for some reason, I felt the need to, I was just like, I can't cry because I need to, you know, comfort my mom, because that's just the thing that happened in my head first. I'm not kidding. This is what I was thinking. And then my mom goes and sits on the couch, and she starts crying, and then I just sit down, and that's when it just hits me, and I'm just like, I start crying, and it was really sad. And so we just sit there, just speechless, just like exchanging sobs for a good 45 minutes. And so, like, then there's like a knock on the door. Actually, no, I know what happens next. So after sitting with my mom for about 45 minutes, I'm just like, I'm gonna go like lay down in my room now. And she's like, of course. And then so I go sit in my room, and the first thing I do is I hop on Skype, and you know, I have my like super awesome best internet friends in the world that I've had for like, you know, for years, a couple years, and I tell them just like, guys, my dad died, and they thought I was joking at first. I mean, you know, we usually exchange some nice humorous things, and then, you know, they thought I was joking, and then I was like, no, it's like it actually happened. And so Jordan Wong, like he was there the most, and he was helping me console with it too, and he was really nice about that, and I appreciate that so much, Jordan. Anyways, I hope you're. Jordan does my annotations, by the way. I have a manager on my account, and that's he does the annotations at the end of the video. He's awesome. Anyways, so that happened, and so I'm just sitting in my room at this point. I'm just like, I don't even know what's going on. My head's spinning, everything is turned upside down, and it really was. It was just crazy. Just the whole idea of, you know, having a family member, which I remember the last conversation that I had with my dad before, you know, he passed away. And I remember I was playing. This is actually the last conversation we had. You know, calling across countries, unless you have like, you know, a special phone, it's actually quite difficult because you have to buy like, you know, minutes to call over, and it costs a lot of money, whatever. And so that wasn't the last conversation we had. What my dad had done is he went over to one of his friend's house, and in Mexico, and they had an Xbox 360. So what I did was I was playing single player Minecraft on the PC, and I had my single player world. You know, this is back when I did Call of Duty videos on YouTube. I remember those days. But anyways, so I had that done, and I was my brain's not working. Okay, so right, geez, stop being loud, guys. Right. So I was talking to him, and basically what happened is he got on his friend's Xbox Live account, and I turned on my Xbox, and basically I was in an Xbox Live party with my brother who had his Xbox, and he was in his room. What are they banging on out there? I'm telling a story that's really sad. Leave me alone. Oh, what's going on there? Anyways, so right, so I was talking to my dad on the Xbox Live thing with my brother, and like he was just amazed at the fact that I was able to, you know, we were able to talk to like us both at the same exact time through an Xbox. He's like, oh man, I need to get myself one of these over here so we can talk like this all the time. You know, it doesn't cost any money, all this, blah, 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 blah. And we have this long conversation. And I'm playing on my single player world this entire time. And like when he says goodbye, I'm just like, it's just like you don't think about like every time you have a conversation with someone over the phone, you don't think this could be the last conversation that I ever have with this said individual. And it could just be the end for them or me after that. And so like the thing ended, I was just like, I was in a good mood because my dad was like super excited about how technology and stuff was. And so I kept on going with my single player world. And then so that was one of the first things that I had thought of when I got the news that he had passed away. And I think it was the first thing that sort of cheered me up. Obviously it didn't cheer me up at all. Like it gave me a smile for a second, and then it just went instantly back to a frown and, you know, me sobbing or whatever. And you know, it was so sad because I'm just jumping around in the story and whatever, you guys. Sorry about that. Oops, I should probably go get the chest refill. So right, and I remember I still had that single player world when I got the news. I was just like, I can never lose the single player world because that was like, you know, the last. It'll help me like trigger memories and stuff, right? And I lost the single player world, guys. I deleted it, and I remember when I figured out that I deleted it, I was just like, no, why did I do that? And I got super sad again. And it was terrible. But right, back to the story. No, I'm not gonna answer this phone call, stupid grandma. Gosh, wait, hold me. Anyways, so I remember, you know, the next morning, or sorry, actually, I should continue on. So what ended up happening is, you know, my mom gave news to, oh crap, I'm gonna die here. Yep, I need to get out. Oh, jeez, nope. Okay, so what happened is my mom had given news to like my dad's closest friends as well as some family members. And so basically everyone just came over as soon as they could, and everyone was wearing black, and that kind of like astonished me because I was sitting there in my pajamas, and everyone was wearing black. I'm just like, wow. And just literally there was like maybe 10 people in the living room with us just sitting there not saying a single thing, and it was really depressing. It really was. You know, I've never said that I've felt depressed before. You know, I've talked about depression and suicide in another video. People gave me hate on it because, you know, I never have felt depressed. I'd say that was the closest I'd ever felt to being sincerely and utterly depressed. I know I was extremely sad. I don't know if depression was the correct term for it, but yeah, I was sad. Okay, guys, it was really sad. It was an awful time, and I'm gonna die here. Oh well, yep, just leave me alone. Okay, but so like they're just people like not exchanging a single word. So the next morning, since you know my dad had passed away in Mexico. Oh yeah, I completely forgot to tell you guys how he passed away. I'm sorry. So my mom was explaining to me how he died because you know the information across the borders, especially with the the terrible phone calls that I was talking about earlier, isn't necessarily the greatest. So what ended up happening is the story, at least as I know it now, it's still kind of fuzzy. I'm not 100% sure of like the specifics 100%, but basically what ended up happening was my dad was driving a motorcycle to in between two cities, and they're just like there's one car, what do they call it, like one lane streets, I guess, when there's one going one direction, one going the other opposite direction. And so he was going that way, and what ended up happening is he was going with one of the one of his coworkers, and I forgot where they were going. They're probably coming back home or something. And so what ended up happening is there was a drunk driver who he was in a truck. He had come and he hit my dad, and apparently my abuelita, my grandma from Mexico, she was telling me that what ended up happening was he could have been okay, except there was a stop sign that he had ran into, and or like that tripped him, and then he just basically fell, and then it was the tire that ran over my dad's head. And it was just, I can't believe, like, me saying this right now, it doesn't seem, like, even now, it doesn't seem like it's necessarily real. I don't know if that's the proper word for it, but it doesn't seem like the words that I'm using fit with what my, what image is in my head, right? But, so, that's pretty much what happened, and by the time the paramedics had got there, because, it's kind of slow in between places, he was long since, he was gone. And so that's what happened. So like the next morning, what we ended up getting news is I had a decision to make. I had to choose whether or not to go to the funeral, which was going to take place in in his hometown, because where else would it take place, especially since he was in Mexico. Actually, so I had made the decision that I wasn't going to go to the funeral. And the reason for that is because when you remember someone, you want to remember them. This is my logic behind it. You want to remember someone for who they were, not as a body, right? So I didn't want to see my dad in the condition that he was, with his all torn up and whatever. So I have not seen pictures of the funeral. If anyone had taken pictures, I refuse to look at pictures, because I want to remember my dad for who he was, right? And okay, let's make sure this guy's not coming. So that was my logic behind it. So it's like either I get to see him for one last time, or I get to remember him for who I was. My logic behind it was I wanted to remember him for who he was. My mom went to the funeral, and when Mexico, the difference between a regular funeral is you have to get the funeral done really quickly because you don't have embalming fluid and all that. So she had to go the day after, and they had to do it as soon as possible. So she goes, and the difference, she was telling me this, between regular funerals, or funerals in the United States and funerals over there in Mexico, is that gosh, my stupid headphone keeps getting turned off. Right. So the difference is that you don't. When usually they have the body on display, and then they instantly go after that. What do you call it? Oh my goodness, just die, please. There you go. Okay, so they have the body on display, and then after that, you go away, and then they bury the body. For the thing in Mexico, you were there while they bury the body, which my mom gave me in details. It was probably the worst thing she had ever experienced in her whole life, just watching them bury the coffin, and I can barely imagine just being there. I'm really glad that I didn't go. Well, I don't know. I always find myself like, do I regret not going to the funeral? I'd say no. But if I were to go, you know, if someone were to like force me to look at pictures of the funeral, then I'd be basically, I would say to myself, it's just like, I'm sorry. I would say, well, the point of me not going was wasted. Because if I were to, you know, the reason why I didn't want to go to the funeral in the first place, if that reason was taken away from me, then there would be, you know, it would just suck, right? Obviously, this is going to keep on going into another game. Let's just kill this person really quick, and okay, I'll continue on as soon as this person's dead. Okay, so there you go right here. You know, please, and there we go. Okay, yay, we win this game. All right, so right. Continuing on with what I was saying. So my mom had gone to the funeral, she came back, and things went on like before. Well, I mean, like I always figured, this is where I realized that you know, things aren't permanent, and I'd say that experience changed me for the rest of my life, but it did. It's just, I don't know, guys. I hope if someone else is going through this video, you know, I would say, you know, give you advice or anything to, you know, see if you get through it. But like, the thing is, shit happens, and you have to come. You know, people give you like a series of shitty hands, and you know, you could win with a shitty hand, right? I don't know. I've heard this somewhere, and it feels good saying it like that. But anyways. Flash forward to, I don't know how long. Oops, there we go. I'm falling out of the map forever. Flash forward to, I'd say, a couple, like maybe 2 months ago. I don't know. Things went on. You know, eventually I stopped being, you know, super sad, and I went back to being my normal self. You know, as normal as you can be. Because like after such a life-changing experience like that, you know, you don't necessarily go back to where you were. You just kind of learn to adjust yourself to your new environment, right? Because things will never go back to the way they were. You know, everything you did every day, it doesn't go back, right? So say, like, if I have to say anything about, you know, people who do still have their parents, or you know, haven't had anything like this happen to them, it's just like, savor what you have, right? Because you don't know when it's gonna go. Like, really, you won't know what you have until it's gone. It's just a thing, right? Just try your best to appreciate the things you have. I know I have way too much. I probably don't deserve half of it, but hey, this is how it's gonna be, and I really am appreciative of what I have. Anyways, so flash forward to, I'd say, I don't know if it happened like 2 months ago or 1 month ago, whatever. I think it was a couple months ago. My aunt Mary, she had basically, oh yeah, by the way, my dad was totally gonna get the huge Hall of Fame, like the World Hall of Fame for boxing, except you have to be retired for so many years for that to actually happen. And since a technicality, since my dad, even though he passed away, he still hadn't been retired for so many years, so they can't induct him into the huge Hall of Fame until that time has passed up. Like, I don't know why. But a cool thing is a local Hall of Fame, which is like a slightly smaller one. It was like a museum, pretty much. My Aunt Mary, she had basically put my dad's name into it, and they were going to induct him into it. And so what we were to do is go to basically this, you know, play. I've talked about this before, but I'll say it again just for the sake of, you know, the story. Right. So what ended up happening is, oh my god, my brain's not working. Right. So we were to go to this restaurant, and they were gonna basically, you know, we were to eat food, and then people would give speeches and accept awards for different things for boxing. And my dad was gonna, you know, win his award for, you know, having such a good achievements in boxing and whatever. And my mom, she gave me the task, you know, since I'm the public speaker in the family or something, she gave me the task to write a speech about my dad, and basically give it in front of all the people. And I was just like, okay, I think I could do that. So the night before we were going, I wrote the entire speech. It was about 3-4 minutes long, and we went over there, and Like if I've never felt nervous before, I swear I felt so nervous that night because I don't know. I'll do a video and knowing that 10,000 people are going to watch what I'm doing right now, 10,000 people plus, because that's just the average on my survival games videos. But thinking about it, like live performance and recording in advance, totally two separate things. But anyways, so there's like 500 people and I have to give this speech. And by the way, the service was awful. Like they didn't seat us properly. We were sitting in the corner. They apologized. It all worked itself out in the end, which I'm glad. But we were kind of pissed. And then we finally got seats, and they were giving out the awards. People were giving up acceptance speeches. And I remember the guy running the event. Or they had the weather guy from like Channel 4 News or something. He was running the whole thing, and he was, I think his name was like Michael no, I don't even know, but whatever his name was. But anyway, so I go up there. Actually, this is right before we were supposed to get the thing, and so he's just like, on behalf of receiving the award, Julio Gonzalez family would like to is going to accept this award. Come on up, guys. And so I'm up there staring 500 people. And I have to give my speech, and I have it memorized. I'm just like nervous. I'm just like holding the microphone like this. Not really, but like so. The thing about like giving public speaking, at least for me, what it is I will be nervous up until I give the speech, and then I'll be good. For like as soon as I start talking, I'm just fine. So I get up there and I start talking, and I give my speech, and people would give applause after each and every speech, but I think we were the second to last. No, we were the last award that they gave out, right? So people would give their claps for people accepting awards, and there's this guy who had cried up on stage because his dad had died too, and he was a boxer as well, and I'm giving the speech. And as soon as I'm done, the entire crowd, all my dad's friends were there. Everyone in the family was there, and all these just random people that I would never see again in my life. But I gave this speech, and just everyone, the entire place, just lit up with applause. And honestly, that was great. I felt that I lived up to my father's name when that happened. It was no words can describe how like nice it felt. And everyone for the rest of the time we were there for like another 2 hours. Like that was a beautiful speech. All my dad's friends were like crying. It's like, how could you not say that entire speech without crying? It's just like all these just compliments after compliments, and it's just like it's one of those feel good moments. But yeah, like it was great. It really was. I'm gonna start crying here. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I've made it this far. I can't. No, not now. Whoa! Jesus! Leave me alone! Whoa! What the heck's going on? What in the world? Okay, that was some lag. Anyways, so that was it was amazing. I can't even explain how good it was. But alright, we'll skip back. We're going backwards in time. What we had at my dad's old gym is it was the La Habra boxing gym. If you guys know what that is, probably not. But anyways, so we were at my dad's old gym, and we were gonna do a memorial service, pretty much, for my dad. By the way, I'm gonna say this right now. If I could find a copy of that speech that I gave, and it doesn't have any copyrighted music or anything, because I think there might have been music playing in the background. I'll put it on the screen right now. Okay, so hopefully that was on the screen right now. If it wasn't, I'm sorry, but I couldn't find it. I'm pretty sure it's on Facebook somewhere. I could like download it from my mom or something, but I'm gonna find it, hopefully. Anyways, so flash backward in time. We're gonna have a memorial service for my dad over at his old gym, and this is basically like maybe I'd say 2 weeks after he passed away. So everyone's still kind of sad. Well, actually, everyone is still really sad. But anyways, so everyone's there, and everyone's all sobbing. Well, actually, I was okay at this point, and man, I had it together, and then just seeing other people cry, it makes me go. And I remember they'd be like, there's people who'd go up and speak about it, and just every time someone would go up speaking, I'm like dying, like tears everywhere. It's such an experience, guys. I hope that I'm not boring you or anything, or whatever. But I'm not saying this. I'm not doing this video for the sake of people giving me pity, because if I were to do that, I would have done it a long time ago. Because this is something that happened 2 years ago, and yeah, I'm doing it just to this is one of the few things, like, this is probably the biggest thing that I've ever shared online with anyone, really. And the fact that I could do it with an online audience like you guys, just the heaters, man. you guys are too much to ask for. I'm sorry. It's so it really is. It's so much of everything. It's just perfection. I couldn't ask for anything more. And but yeah, if you guys, I really hope I got that speech on. I was able to put that up, but if it wasn't, oh well, because that speech was right here. It was good. It really was. Alrighty then. I think I'm going to find some more people and finish off this game. And honestly, I don't know if there's anything else that I could talk about. There's just so much to cover, and yet so little. Right, so like there's a million thoughts going through my head, yet not so many words that can come out. Right? I don't know, guys. I don't. Oh man. This is one of the few times I've ever done a video and I've just become speechless. That's something, guys. Wait, what the heck is it? Where's this compass pointing towards? I didn't even know you could get compasses anymore. Okay. We're gonna find people and kill them. Okay. I don't even know. I guess I can tell another story. I've told this story before, but this is I might as well tell it again, because this is a story involving my dad. So this is oh man, which one should I tell? I'm gonna tell the yeah, I'm gonna tell a good one. So this is back when I was in, I'd say, 4th grade. No, it was 4th grade. It was during spring break. My family, actually it was me, my dad, and my brother. My mom didn't go because she had work. At least she tells me. I'm pretty sure I remember her being there, but I guess she wasn't. But anyways, so there's these beaches out in Mexico, and we would go there eventually sometimes, because they're kind of like they're 4 hours away from where our house is. So we would go over there, and we stayed there for the entire week. And it was awesome. Like, we brought a trampoline onto the beach. Have you ever brought a trampoline onto the beach? No? Well, you should. It's lots of fun. Anyways, so we brought that. We were having tons of fun. It was a family, stuff. And I remember one of the times my dad, my uncle Katudi, he went out to go fishing, because we go fishing, and then we'd kill the fish and eat the fish, because it's good food. Fish is really good. I don't know how some people can't like fish, but anyways, gonna die. Whoop. Yeah, come on. Oh, hit me this way. Yep, thank you. Oh dang, just don't try to. There we go, and you're dead. Okay. Oh, and I'm dead. Well then, I'm gonna tell the rest of the story, and then I'll be done. But anyways, so he would go out fishing, and my dad, he went out in like an actual fishing boat, and he went out maybe in a mile. So what my dad did is he had this inflatable, you have those inflatable like things that you could lie on. I guess they're called like pillow pools, or pool pillows. I'll call them pool pillows just for the sake of having them. So what he did was he took the pool pillow and he rowed out like a mile on it. Like, he was like rowing and stuff to get over there. And they went fishing, and they came back later, and they brought back fish. But that's not the funny part. The funny part is another time he was lying on the pool pillow or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna call it pool pillow. And he was lying there just chilling, and he fell asleep on the pool pillow. And what ended up happening is he drifted out like 2 miles into the ocean. And so when he wake up, he's just like, "Where the hell am I?" And he could see the shore, so he had to pedal back 2 miles on a pool pillow. I like that. I like the word pool pillow. And I'm sorry. When he told me that, I was like, really? That happened? We haven't seen you. It was like, I assumed you were just like off doing something, whatever. And he's like, yeah, I was out 2 miles in the ocean. He's like, it was really funny. But yeah, that is as good as it's gonna get for me telling this story. I apologize if it was a little scattered. My thoughts are all over the place. I didn't cry. Hope you guys didn't cry either. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of MCSG with Tomahawk, and hope you guys have a nice day, please. Rah!